Hello friends. This video is based on the biography and works of William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth has been a great English poet who gave a new sweet form to poetry through his beautiful poetry. In his biography we are introduced to a boy from a difficult family, his concept of the importance of education, a guide for youth, and his distinctive approach to poetry. Birth and education. William Wordsworth was born on April 7, 1770 in Cambridge, England. His father's name was John Wordsworth, and he was a boy growing up in a non-familial environment. His father did not train him, but he encouraged him to study. He entered Cambridge University in 1791 and majored in history and painting. Poetry and work. The poetic works of William Wordsworth are extremely important because of their influence in the mutual economic and population environment. He told in the form of Sahasutra of the book, Lakshadhyani, that inspiration is obtained for the poet by looking at the scenes of natural beauty. The beauty of nature, self-defense, nationalism and sentimentality are enjoyed in his poems. His famous poetry collection, East Wind, was published in 1798, in which he collected various poems keeping in mind the growth of the organization of freedom and personal journey. William Wordsworth was a unique poet and writer who took poetry to new heights through his time. By reading his poetry, we get many messages related to the reality of our life. Exemplifying problematic poetry, Wordsworth probed deeply into his own complex emotions and revealed them through his poems. Ending. William Wordsworth is an accomplished and very important poet who awakens the unseen part of his readers through his poetry. His poems reveal the importance of family, the importance of education, connection with nature, and thoughtfulness on the themes of idealism. His poetic creations are not only a sign of his uniqueness, but also give us the best ideas to improve our lives. As he grew older, Wordsworth came to reject orthodoxy. In 1813, he was named distributor of stamps and moved his family to a new home in the Lake District. By 1818, Wordsworth was an ardent supporter of the conservative Tories. Although Wordsworth continued to produce poetry, including ongoing works that mourned the death of two of his children in 1812, he reached a zenith of creativity between 1798 and cemented his reputation as an acclaimed literary figure. In 1843, Wordsworth became Poet Laureate of England, a position he held for the rest of his life. He died at his home in Rydal Mount, Westmoreland, England, on April 23, 1850, at the age of 80. Early life. The second of 5 children of John Wordsworth and Anne Cookson, William Wordsworth was born on the 7th of April 1770 in Cockermouth, Cumberland, northwest England. His father, James Lowther, was the legal representative of the Earl of Lonsdale and lived in a large house in Littleshire through his contacts. He died in 1783. Wordsworth's father was often away from home on business, although he encouraged his reading, and especially the poetry of Milton, Shakespeare, and Spenser, in addition to allowing him to use his father's library. He had 4 siblings. Dorothy Wordsworth, to whom he was closest, was a poet. Richard, the eldest, was a lawyer, John Earl of Abergavenny was a ship's captain, and Christopher was master of Trinity College, Cambridge. After her mother's death, in 1778, her father sent her to Hawkshead Grammar School, Cashire, now in Cumbria, and Dorothy to live with relatives in Yorkshire. He and Wordsworth did not see each other for 9 years. After attending a small school of low quality in Cockermouth, Hawkshead was Wordsworth's first serious experience with education. After Cockermouth School, he was sent to a school for the children of upper-class families in Penrith. Wordsworth made his debut as a writer in 1787 when his poems were published in the European magazine. In the same year he went to St. John's College, Cambridge, and in 1791 he received the degree of B.A. For the summer holidays of the first 2 years, he returned to Hawkshead and often spent his holidays on walking tours, visiting places known for the beauty of their landscapes. In 1790, he made a walking tour of Europe, then traveled extensively across the Alps, France, Switzerland and the surrounding areas of Italy. First publication and lyrical ballad. In 1793, Wordsworth's poetry collection, An Evening Walk, and Descriptive Sketches, were published for the first time. In 1795 he inherited 900 from Resley Calvert so that he could fulfill his goal of becoming a writer. That year, he met Samuel Taylor Coleridge in Somerset. The two quickly became Wordsworth and his sister Dorothy moved from Coleridge's home in Downstow to Alfoxden House, Somerset, just a few miles away. Together, Wordsworth and, with insight from Dorothy, Coleridge produced Lyrical Ballads, 1798, an important work in the English Romantic movement. One of Wordsworth's best-known poems, Tintern Abbey, and Coleridge's Rime of the Ancient Mariner, were published. This prelude to the lyrical ballad is considered a central work of Romantic literary theory. Discusses the use of new elements, the language of a real man, and the poetic style of much 18th century poetry. In this poem, Wordsworth gives his famous definition of poetry as the spontaneous overflow of powerful emotion. It takes its origin from the spirit remembered in peace. A fourth and final edition of the lyrical ballad was published in 1805. Literary honor. Wordsworth received a civil law degree from Durham University in 1838, and the same honor from Oxford University the following year. In 1842, the government honored him with a civil list pension of 300. In 1843, after the death of Robert Soddy, he became poet regent. He initially declined the honor, saying he was too old, but accepted it after assurances from Prime Minister Robert Peel. Death. William Wordsworth died on the 23rd of April 1850, from an exacerbation of pleurisy, and was buried at St. Oswald's Church in Grasmere. Several months after his death, his wife Mary published The Prelude, an autobiographical poem written by him. The poem failed to arouse interest in 1850, although it is now considered his masterpiece. Major works. Simon Lee. We Are Seven. Lines written in early spring. Lines composed a few miles above Tintern Abbey. Prologue to lyrical ballad. Ode to Duty, 1807. The Solitary Reaper. London, 1802. The world is too much without us. My heart leaps up. Daffodils, I wandered lonely as a child. The Prelude. Guide to the Lakes, 1810. Lyrical ballads are also among his famous compositions, in which it is written about the language of prose and poetry and in prose and colloquial language. Thus ended the literary career of William Wordsworth. Friends, thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, then press the like button and share this video among your friends to increase knowledge, and if you do not like it, then press the dislike button, and if this video is beneficial for you, then please subscribe this channel to get such videos. Thank you once again.